We're drinking kombucha.
Finally.
So many people wanted us to make kombucha for so long, and I resisted it because I didn't like it. It tasted like crap to me. It was just not something I wanted to drink. So,
But life has thrown him a curveball, and now he's inspired to try it once again. Also, Beverly, this is all your fault.
I was just about to say that, but yeah. Anyway, so if you didn't see the first video where we made this kombucha, go back and watch it. We'll still be here. We'll wait. All right, so you're back. And now, we have one of those bottles that's been sitting for like 5 or 6 days, 5 days, I think, give or take, something like that. 2, 4, yeah. It's been in the fridge for like a day and a half. As I look at it, it's got a little SCOBY forming at the top. Looks like it's got a jellyfish there. And I know that's a normal thing, so I'm not all that concerned.
But we need to convey this to you, that if there's some little weird stuff floating on the top of your kombucha,
Don't freak out.
that's normal.
I'll just make sure that goes in Derica's glass. Okay, I heard a little fizz. Not a lot of fizz. That's rather worrisome to me. I'll pour some here. There's some fizz. I see some carbonation there.
It is minimally effervescent. There's little bubblies all collected around the exterior of the glass. It kind of reminds me of champagne looking at it.
Yeah, I could see that. All right, I poured myself more than I poured Derica, so she gets more. But SCOBY seems to be floating around in there. He's not coming out. There's goop in the bottom.
But you poured more for me now than you.
So I'll pour a little bit more for me.
You're gonna get the SCOBY.
Nah, I'm good. Not that there's anything wrong with it. I mean, you can eat that. You can do what you want with it, but, you know, whatever. This isn't going to be a typical tasting because we don't really have anything to compare it to other than commercial stuff. And, well, since I didn't like any of those, it's not really a fair comparison now, is it?
Now, the reason why he didn't like the commercial ones is they tend to be a little stronger on the vinegar side, which we find perplexing because we know they tend to add a bunch of
Sugar.
yeah, afterwards. So you think they would have balanced that out, where we did not. We just fermented it and then put some juice in there so that it would carbonate, and voila, this is what we have.
Exactly. Now, we did cut this early. This was after a 6-day ferment on the kombucha. So some people are going to say, oh, that's just not even... Well, it did do something, okay? And it is a weaker kombucha. And if you don't like kombucha or you're just getting into trying it, it might be an easy way to get in because, I'll be honest, we had some of this the other day. I really liked it. So I already know I'm going to enjoy this, mostly because I didn't want you guys to see me go on camera if I hated it.
We were also very impatient, wanted to see
Yeah,
how good
I
it
was really impatient, wanted to see how good it was. But the basic gist is we started out with a weaker kombucha. Now, we didn't add a lot of extra juice at the end either, as you can tell by the color. It doesn't look grape or cherry like it should.
Right. If you did not, again, see the making of, we added our black cherry plum, I believe is what it is, juice, one of our favorite juices from Aldi, to flavor the kombucha. And the kombucha base was just a black tea kombucha.
I can almost smell the black cherry though. I do get it in the scent. And I am going to kind of try to do a true tasting for you guys on this. I don't want to just gloss over it. The one that we opened the other day wasn't quite carbonated yet. That's the other thing. We're testing carbonation. This one's much more.
Is fizzier. So if you have that issue where you find the first one you open not to be carbonated to your liking,
wait a couple days.
Wait a couple of days and the rest will probably catch up.
Okay, so on the smell, we got that. First taste. Oh, it's fizzy. It's a little sweet. So I have to be careful that I don't drink too much of this because this is on the sweeter side.
We don't know how much of the sugars remained in solution that weren't ate up.
Technically, you can take a hydrometer reading, but I'm not going to at this point. I would assume this is a little more sugary than I really want it to be, but it's not sickly sweet. Like this isn't as sweet as most of the meads we make, I think.
Could be great.
I do appreciate the flavors. I get a little bit of the vinegar note, but it's not overly strong. And I've started to appreciate the vinegar note. So that's probably a good thing. It tastes a lot to me like Foda.
Yeah.
The water kefir soda that we used to make. And I think there's a lot of similarity, which that's a good thing because that was like almost flavorless. You could make it whatever you want. But kombucha has a lot more going for it than the kefir. So I think this is kind of neat. So far, I'm liking this.
In comparison to the one that we opened earlier, I'm really appreciating the additional carbonation because I feel, and we've talked about this before, that when you carbonate a beverage, sometimes that tricks the palate into making it seem sweeter than what it actually is. And
which is odd because carbon dioxide itself is bitter.
right.
So you would think that it wouldn't do that, but it actually does. It tricks you into thinking it's sweeter. I don't really know why, but it does.
So it gives it a really light, effervescent, I'm just going to use that word over and over again, sensation to the beverage, which is really pleasant. And then with that little vinegar pop in there, it just seems really cleansing and...
I'm definitely getting a little bit of the black cherry flavor, and I definitely get a sweet tea flavor, like tea comes off. And it's really nice. Like this is awesome. I would say Beverly's kombucha was better than this. It was more complex, had more flavors going for it. It was a stronger flavor. This is a little on the weak side for flavor.
Right.
But as a beginner kombucha, if this is what kombucha tasted like the first time I had it, we'd have been making that stuff for years. You might be watching the Kombucha and More channel instead of the Meat and More channel. So this is really good stuff. I can totally drink this, no problem.
We do have another batch that we started right after finishing this first batch, and it is already processing longer than the first batch did.
It's already 1 day more.
So
we're going to go a couple more days.
We're going to let it go a little stronger and see what we think.
And we might even do a tasting on that one versus this one, just as an example. There are two different teas, though, because that was a Assam black tea. This is the starter kit tea.
Mm-hmm.
So they're completely different, but hey, that might be interesting just to see, using even the same juice at the end, how much different are they? So be ready for that one in a week or two or something.
So the verdict on the Simple Kit Kombucha is...
This is awesome. Hell yeah. Totally. If you have never made kombucha, the kit is in the description below. You can get it off Amazon. Really reasonably priced. It has everything in it you need except the water. Okay, that was it. But yeah, it worked so good. And hey, if you like this video, look up. There's another one up there. You might like that one too.